In this video, we're going to start introducing MATLAB. MATLAB is a computing engine. It is a fully functional programming language, but you can use it for so much more than just programming like we've been doing in C++. One of the big upsides to MATLAB is that you can get started right away using some syntax you're fairly familiar with. For example, if I wanted to add 5 and 4, I could enter 5 plus 4 and see what I would get. Let's do that, but first let's take a look at the MATLAB window. Now this is my MATLAB window, and yours might look a little bit different. In particular, there are several sub-windows that you might see. For example, one might be called Editor, another Workspace. I've taken these out for now, and I'll show you how to get them back when we need them. In this video, we're only going to work in the command line. You'll know you're in the command line when you see these two operators here. It looks a lot like the insertion operators in C++. If you click on it, you'll notice that now I have a blinking cursor. I can use that cursor to enter MATLAB commands. It is possible to use MATLAB in such a way that you can only use this command line. In reality, we're going to be learning how to write MATLAB scripts, which are a lot like C++ programs, in later videos. But I want to show you that we can do a lot with MATLAB just by working with the command line. And in fact, sometimes when you just need to do a quick calculation, the command line is perfectly fine. So let's try to compute the sum of 5 and 4. Well, MATLAB works just like your calculator does, and it uses syntax, for mathematics anyway, that is very similar to that. So I would enter 5 plus 4. In MATLAB, I don't necessarily need a semicolon. If I leave it off, what happens is I'll see the response, and I'll hit enter to see it. And we see the answer is 9, which luckily is in fact the sum of 5 and 4. Now in C++, you know you always needed semicolons. They ended a line and told the compiler when to start a new line. In MATLAB, a semicolon actually does something very different. Semicolons are used to suppress the output. In this case, if I put a semicolon at the end of the line, I won't see anything, which will kind of be useless to me because I wanted to know the sum, but let's try it. 5 plus 4 semicolon, I now see nothing coming out. When you're doing longer calculations, or for example you're processing many gigabytes of data, it's a good idea to use semicolons. For the most part though, when you're working in the command line, you almost always mean to leave it off so you can see your intermediate calculations. The next thing we can do is add variables. Now in C++ you had data types. MATLAB, at least usually, doesn't use them. It is possible to use data types in MATLAB, but for this course and for the vast majority of what you're ever going to do in MATLAB, you don't really need them. If I want a variable called x, I can simply say x equals and then some initial value. Let's say 5. And I'm going to leave the semicolon off and hit enter, and you'll see that my display now says x equals 5. I don't need a data type, and if I want to know the value of x, I can just type it in by hitting x and then saying enter. Now let's recompute that sum, 5 plus 4, but this time let's use x. Just like in C++, you can use a variable anywhere you might use a constant. So I can do x plus 4, again keeping that semicolon off and hitting enter. And I see that the answer is 9. Let's now say I wanted to store that result in a variable. I do it the same as in C++, but remember, I don't need to declare variables in MATLAB or use a data type. So I say y equals x plus 4, and this will now set the value of y to be 9. Anywhere that I can now use y, it's as though it is using its value, just like in C++. The final thing is that everything you know about mathematics in C++ works in MATLAB. I can multiply, for example, x times y is equal to 45. I can divide, and this is where MATLAB really differs from C++. MATLAB treats everything as a floating point number unless you specifically tell it not to, which is rare. So if I want to know the value of x divided by y, which in C++, if these were integers, would give me 0, and I ask MATLAB to do it, then what I'm going to see is a decimal representation. You'll notice that MATLAB rounded it. It's possible to tell it how much to round to, and there are many different formatting options. We'll leave that to later in the course. So that was your basic introduction to MATLAB. We worked with the command window, we learned how we could do basic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. We learned how to create variables and use them. In the next video, what we're going to do is look into how to expand on our capacity to use the command line with a lot of common MATLAB functions that are very, very useful.